Hello Connective, welcome back. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Comment, like, and subscribe without smashing anything. And let's get into this energy. This is a collective reading for Capricorn. Capricorn, it is your turn again. Let's see what this one's about. Ooh, got the Eight of Scrolls up there. Paths unknown. I think it's been quite a while since I have seen this card. If ever. The law of tipping, expand your consciousness and all things will be added. Okay. I'm already starting to get messages here. Leave the past behind. Last quarter moon in Capricorn. There's a good possibility that this is something you're already doing or have done. First of all, it's upright. Second of all, you've got this kind of like, almost like what happens after cards on the table. Past unknown sometimes is kind of like we're waiting for something after something happened. This deceit card again. We have walking away and deceit. Leave the past behind. Expansion. Paths unknown. We're going to keep going. This paths unknown card is really telling me that you can set the ceiling on what you're trying to manifest. I don't know that this reading is 100% about manifesting, but you know, it's a good possibility that you're manifesting something. What's that? Eight of Pentacles upside down. Well, it could be an ending. It could be an ending. It's possible that the ending hasn't happened yet, so you're not exactly sure where you're going. Yeah. Plus, you can't think straight because you're either in some kind of trauma or fight or flight. Got that someone might be clouding your perception of what you're actually in. Someone who might want to step into a role in your life that may or may not be open right now. Here's this healing card on the table. It's time right back out again next to the Seven of Cups here. Leave the past behind. Who is that? Okay. You could be in a lot of stages in this situation. It's a general reading for Capricorn. So some of the Capricorns are going to be still in it. Some of the Capricorns are going to be getting out of it. Some of the Capricorns are going to be already out of it. It seems like most of the messages in this reading are going to pertain to you regardless of where you are in the situation. First of all, you're still healing or you're going to heal. From what's been given to you. What's been given to you is almost like the opposite of what you were supposed to get. Not necessarily in this situation. This was situation you got exactly what you were supposed to get. But in life, you were supposed to get something else, and you got the opposite of that from this person. So that's the first thing. Second of all, you had your ideas of what you wanted. They weren't exactly met. At some point, it looks like you might have even given up what you wanted in one aspect or another, maybe all, because you didn't think it was coming. You didn't think that you were ever going to I was going to say be worthy of it, but that's not. Be worthy of it in the other person's eyes. So you kind of sort of know what your worth is. Kind of like sometimes when we're sitting in chaos, we know that that's not us. Like we didn't bring that. That's not us. We don't align with it. But nevertheless, it's there. And so sometimes we can just kind of look out and see that, this is, we're out of, like we're basically in a situation that we're out of alignment with. That was you like the entire time. So whatever you wanted from the situation, even small stuff, you started to kind of like what I call give up your dreams. You were kind of like, well, I don't need to have a house. We can't afford a house. I don't need a house. I can maybe just rent a really cute place and then do what I want to with it. Like stuff like that, where you're kind of just trying to make yourself comfortable in a smaller and smaller space, right? You had this person with you. It doesn't have to be romantic, but it's not exactly on the table, love, but I see it. So it could have been romantic. It could have been romantic just because of the card that's showing for some of you guys. Sometimes every time a card pops up, that's the significant other. So I'm getting that. I'm getting that some of you guys, your card popped up kind of thing, and that's that person. For some of you, it's just a representation of the person we're talking about. The person that we're talking about doesn't necessarily 100% fit with this emperor upside down kind of thing. It just happens to be the other person that we're talking with. It doesn't have to be too terrible. It could have been deceits on the table, but I don't think that's. If there was, I don't think that there was like a significant amount of deceit. I don't feel like we were like forced into anything here. Like if we were, we sort of forced ourselves kind of thing. And so this other person that we're trying to walk away from or get away from or be away from, now that we actually are like physically away from them, we need to have some compassion for them. What do I mean by that? Well, sometimes we're in situations that are not cool and the person treated us in a way that they really shouldn't have treated us. We can be mad at that person forever. Or we can understand that what that person was dealing with. Sometimes I use the example of drugs, because if you're not addicted to drugs, then you don't really know what that other person was going through. If they were battling an addiction, if they were truly trying to stay sober and they like kind of couldn't. If you've never been, you don't know what that's like. And even if you have been, you don't know what that's like for them. And then let's just pretend that they have like multiple problems, that they're not just battling with drug addiction. Maybe they're battling with, alcohol addiction, or maybe there's some other things that are happening on top of this that would make them what we would call a horrible person. But in reality, it's their response to whatever they experienced or experiencing. When we look at them, no matter how they treated us, we need to have that compassion, because if we don't, we're going to get stuck in a place where we're not able to like manifest what we want, because we're too busy blaming other people in situations where we had some control. I always say, if I'm not tied to the furnace, I can leave, but I don't, because of, all kinds of reasons. And then if I don't leave because of some reasons that I choose myself, should I blame the other person for how long it took to end, or for how terrible I was treated? At what point do I take on the onus myself and saying that I put myself in this situation, right? So I feel like this Eight of Swords is kind of telling you like to think about it. Think about it, right? Decide what part you have had control over, even if that control was in walking away, right? Because we weren't tied to the furnace. I feel like this Knight of Cups here, it's like popping up as like this energy, but I don't think this is someone else's energy. I think this is our energy. I think that we are playful. I think that we're romantic. I think that we want, like, not only love in our relationship, but we want a good lover, right? We want true love. We want trust, and we're not getting it. And we know damn well we're not getting it because we're not, it's kind of like what I said, we're not aligned with the situation that we're in. So this is saying that it's a very good possibility that something's going to happen, or has already happened, but it could happen. And then once it does happen, then it might happen fairly quickly. That you might either align with another situation that's not this situation, or that you'll be in a position to align with another situation, depending on what you do for yourself, how much you want to put into your own healing, how much you want to actually see the other person for who they were, or for what they did, for who you were on the flip side, kind of like what you're looking at, to kind of stop doing circles in your head and start looking at things for what they really are, kind of like being who you are, standing up for who you are, so that you can align with what's coming. You won't be able to do that without the strength. This is the expand card, which also goes with this expanding your consciousness, and all things will be added. It says you're being asked to expand. You live in a huge world with endless possibilities, and staying safe in the known is no longer working for you. It's time to make your world just a bit bigger. It's time to imagine the possibilities and go for them. Like, I feel like this is what this is talking about. Yeah, it's time. So I feel like the most important things for you is just recognize, like, if you're healing, when you're healing, that you're healing. Recognize that. Recognize that you haven't been decided about where you're going. It depends on how much you want to expand, Capricorn. And you can't do that if you're dragging the past behind. You need to leave the past behind in a way that's compassionate towards the people who mistreated you. When you walk away, you need to leave it, and you need to leave it in a way that's gracious, so that you can bring to you what you want and not bring more to you that you don't want. And then align with the ideas of what you want, and then bring that to you. Keep that in mind until we meet again.